This week, nothing exciting happens on the front lawn. And that high schooler in the cap just needs to hurry up and get cherry coke like we all know he's going to. And this is the Holy Onion. This is Brianna Nelson with the Holy Onion. Last week, students reported that nothing exciting or eventful happened on the front lawn. We go to Mark Gomez for the full story.
Thanks, Brianna. Mark Gomez here, standing right in front of the Fortuna Fountain, which is named after the Greek goddess of fertility. It stands right in front of the CBU lawn where many CBU student services plan many events. However, this week, nothing of any importance occurred on this lawn you see standing right behind me. Many of the ACBU students were very shocked to find out that there was nothing planned. So some students were trying to find ways to plan new events. One student was reported as having said, "Hey, what if we started a Bible study this week?" However, no such activity was conducted. However, many students have seen the normal routines of the CBU lawn activities. They've seen some students playing ultimate frisbee, some playing soccer, and there was that normal creepy couple that practices yoga in that non-Baptist fashion that is not very looked upon in a great way here on this campus. But as you can see, there's nothing else to report here. Back to you, Brianna.
Thank you, Mark. Now we move on to a special report by our very own Matt Shade, who is on probation since he half quit last week, but this better be good, titled Lancer Mail or Lancer Fail. Matt?
Hi, thank you, Brianna. As many of you know, the email server on campus known as Lancer Mail has been suffering many embarrassing slip-ups and technical errors lately, ranging from bad requests to scheduled maintenance. However, I wanted to take a look at the real victims of this plague and just look at those who are really suffering. So I took some time to sit down with one of those actual victims and have an in-depth interview to understand exactly what they're going through. Hi, thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit down and answer some questions and talk with me about this.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so my first question is how has this problem affected you personally?
Well, first it just started as little failures. A student would be trying to access their email and up would pop bad request, but things began to progress from bad to worse, and soon there were constant server errors and even scheduled maintenance, as though they were openly targeting us.
So how has this whole situation affected, computers as a whole connected to the Lancer Mail system?
It's hard for us. We have a responsibility and a duty that we want to uphold, but there's nothing we can do. A lot of times, students take out their anger on us, typing angrily, knocking their hands against us, or even slamming us shut. Many times it borders on physical abuse, and many of us are living in fear.
Wow. If there was something you could say to IT, if you had the chance to ask IT something, what would you ask them?
I would ask them, why? Why us? We're just honest, hard-working computers. Why us?
Well, I'm sure this is, personally for you, very difficult. In this whole thing, what's been the lowest moment for you?
Bad request.
I'm sorry. Can you say that? I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Bad request.
I don't understand.
Bad request.
As you can see, the situation on campus only grows worse, and those suffering under the oppressive Lancer Mail regime are still suffering and do not have a voice. Thank you, Brianna. Back to you.
Wow. Powerful. Thank you, Matt. In other news, overly sheltered white girls from small towns up north have been commenting, saying that CBU is located in the heart of the Riverside Ghetto. We sent reporter Mark Gomez out to investigate the full story. Mark?
Thanks, Brianna. Right now I'm standing in the Hard Riverside area ghetto, where many students are complaining about many of the situations happening that have ghetto activity. Many students have said that they're not very comfortable with the commercial selling of drugs. Even though they're over-the-counter drugs and prescription drugs, there are still many complaints of that being so close to their place of residence. One CBU girl student has been noticing that CVS stands for criminals, vagrants, and sinners. However, many reports are still being conducted to further test that this is actually true. However, I'm going to cut this report very short due to the sake of my own safety. Back to you, Brianna.
Thanks again, Mark. I truly hope you make it out alive. In other news, much of the wrestling team has demanded more tacky free oversized t-shirts to be handed out at ASCBU events. After receiving a number of t-shirts that only broke into the double digits, many wrestlers are unsatisfied with ASCBU's handing out free t-shirts featuring companies' logos and organizations' logos prominently on the t-shirts. One wrestler was upset to hear that at ASCBU's last event, Recess, there was no new t-shirt handed out. And he was quoted saying, "Me want t-shirts," as he walked into the wrong class he'd be attending all year. Well, that's the news for this week. This is Brianna Nelson, and I'm signing off for the Holy Onion. We will see you next week.